Most people watching this little girl, Vrinda, wouldn't notice anything unusual about her. However, while she is like other children in many ways, she is also unique. Vrinda has a developmental disability called autism. Autism is a puzzling neurological disorder. It affects the communication and social skills of children and the way they perceive the environment. Autism is not unique to India. It occurs all over the world, across all economic and cultural differences. In fact, autism is the third most common developmental disability, affecting 1.7 million people in India alone. 80% of all people with autism are males. What is a child with autism like? Let's meet some families of children with autism.
What I first noticed about her that was different from other kids was when she was around 1 year. She had this habit of sitting on her knees and she would rock, or else she would be on the floor and rolling, and she could go on like this for hours, and she was very happy alone doing this.
Initially we didn't feel that there was anything wrong. He could recite the nursery rhymes so well, and he could speak also. If you asked a question, he would not answer immediately, or sometimes he would. So it was very difficult to make out at that time.
Of course, he kept it to his own world. He had his own world. That was one thing which we noticed, but we thought he was just different from the others.
Unlike normal kids, Chinky was very dull.
Even at the age of 1, Chinky could barely stand nor speak.
Initially, when Akash was 1, he seemed like any other normal kid. It's only when he was 2, we felt that he is not behaving and responding the way he was expected to.
So eventually we got him diagnosed as autistic.
Autism is not the same as mental retardation, though a child can have both. Children with autism may have delayed development right from birth or appear normal until about 18 months of age, followed by a change. In all cases, symptoms must appear before 30 months. Communication is something that most of us take for granted. But for children with autism, this is an area of great difficulty. Children may repeat a question rather than give a spontaneous reply. Others may confuse the usage of pronouns. A child wanting a biscuit would say, "You want a biscuit," rather than saying, "I want a biscuit." Do you want the bear?
Do you want the bear?
Okay. Do you want the giraffe?
Do you want the giraffe?
I think she has enough language, but she can't use it in a very appropriate way, say in a very meaningful way like the regular kids do. She uses it in a very obsessive manner. She repeats things.
ये photo है. ये है pipe. Photo. ये pipe.
She's going with us in a car and we suddenly stop the car in the parking. Then probably from the window she'll see a baby. She'll start saying, "Baby come to me, baby come to me, baby come to me," without stopping.
Some may also have difficulty in expressing their feelings.
I don't like Uttaraman because in Uttaraman there is Sita, there is girl. Sita is girl.
I see.
In Uttaraman there is girl. I don't like Uttaraman, I don't like girl.
I see.
Ramayan there is Ram, Ram is boy. I like Ramayan because in Ramayan there is boy.
It's always been very verbal, unlike some other autistic children. And he will talk very willingly to strangers. but not talk in the sense of conversation.
Though 50% of people with autism do not develop speech, they do learn to communicate non-verbally.
Is it Thursday or is it Wednesday?
If he is hungry, he takes me to the kitchen or opens the fridge. If he wants to drink water, he brings a glass.
We automatically think of play when we think of children. Like others, children with autism also play. However, their play is noticeably different. For example, they may play alongside other children but not with them. Children with autism do not follow social rules that most of us learn automatically.
Shrutito wants to make friends, but he doesn't have the ability to make friends really. So the other people lose interest in him after some time, and then Shrutito ends up pestering the other person.
Shrutito went to a conventional school till he was 12, 12 and a half. But once that sort of age was reached and the peer groups had changed and there was a quantum jump in the syllabus and everything became very difficult.
When we have guests over, Chinky helps himself before the others. He doesn't know that he should wait for guests first.
In socialization, she's quite different from other kids. Like, she never has any complaints against any child. In fact, she loves kids. But then this is a recent development.
She doesn't have the concept of whether something belongs to her or not. For example, even before I bought something, she will pick it up and start peeling it, eating it off.
However, contrary to popular belief, children with autism do form attachments and relationships. And like all children, they show great affection for people they like. Many of us rock ourselves while sitting or standing, jiggle our legs, twiddle our fingers, and so do people with autism. But for them, this is a ritualistic behavior and a way to deal with a stressful world. People with autism prefer fixed routines and may do things over and over again. Many parents have noticed that their children play with toys in a repetitive way.
Earlier, she was fixated to the wall, and she used to love peeling the walls, and she was at the wall all the time. And for the last 7 or 8 months, she has a new fixation, that is footwear, shoes, slippers, anything. And in fact, we don't have a shoe rack at all. All the shoes are by her side when she's sleeping.
For example, I come back from office and I ask her, Vrinda, where are my slippers? And she goes exactly at the place where she's hid them, brings them and gives it to me.
Akash always likes to have something in his hand for which he can play with and make noise with.
He will always be tapping something on his teeth. Earlier we thought that maybe there's something wrong with his teeth. But now we know that there are some other reasons that he does this.
People with autism perceive the world quite differently from you or me. For them, information coming through the senses may be distorted. Sounds may be heard either louder or softer than they really are.
Well, Shrutito has always been very sensitive to noise. And there are interesting things. For instance, when the bucket fills up in water, when the water falls from a height, that sound bothers him.
Children may be fascinated by certain textures or may be very sensitive to touch. For many, looking directly into people's eyes may be painful, and people with autism often avoid eye contact. This sensory defensiveness does not occur in all children, and it may come and go. Autism is a lifelong condition, yet every child has the potential to improve if parents are given proper guidance and the child is given appropriate intervention.
Now he responds immediately when you call him. Whenever, like all simple sentences, I think everything he understands, even though he doesn't speak. He does speak something like, I can't say that he's non-verbal.
Well, there's no doubt that there's been a slow but quite steady improvement in the last few years especially.
Her language has improved, her vocabulary also has improved. 1 year back or 1.5 years back, if you ask her, Vrinda, what is your name? She might just say, what is your name? But now, you might just find her saying Vrinda Chaswal.
Well, I feel if society can accept the autistic children in a better way, then it is easier for us, because then we can take them everywhere we want to take them.
The main problem what we face is that is because of her normal looks. People probably feel that she's a spoiled brat, and that's why she's not behaving properly. Maybe we are not parenting her well.
Most parents, they accept the child but they hate the disability, and that's where the problem starts. I have accepted Vrinda with her autism because I know that Vrinda and her autism are inseparable. Her autism will be there as long as she is with us. And I think the sooner the parents realize this thing and they accept their child as a person with autism, they'll find a lot of good changes taking place in their lives.
After seeing this film, you may feel that you know a child who could be autistic. It is important for the parents to receive guidance as early as possible so that time is not wasted in going from doctor to doctor. There are no medicines to treat this disorder, nor is there a cure. The only effective thing for every child is a structured setting. What can the rest of us do? We can help create an environment so that parents can begin the process of understanding, accepting, and helping their child.